might have been initially the vision, we can't afford it maybe, or we just can't get that location, or it just doesn't work. You can have an actor say, hey, I know what was written. I'm not reading that. Doesn't it's not what I see for that character. It's not, I don't feel those lines. So a lot of times directors will have to rewrite the script in real time. And then we have to do another budget to apply to that and then turn it around. So filmmaking is a very lengthy process. And that's why I love working particularly with director writers. That's my favorite person to work with, a writer, director, and producer, the trifecta, because they understand budget, money. It's very hard for me to work with people who don't understand money because that means we're going over budget. We're in trouble before we start. But you want somebody who understands money. You want somebody to understand the blueprint, the words on the page, and then you want somebody to be a visionary. So these are very special individuals who can go take a project and really turn it into something magical.
Masterclass, ladies and gentlemen. You can turn it off now because you just got a masterclass, but we're not done. That was absolutely amazing. And the thing that goes after that, after the movie is in the can, after you've gotten everything done, is something that a lot of filmmakers do not think about before they start shooting, which is distribution, which is something that you talk about quite a bit. And the way things work today, and the different ways filmmakers can self-distribute and keep their IP and keep the majority of the money in their pockets. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of deciding where your film is going to live before you actually shoot it?
Yeah, so let's break it apart, if you don't mind, in two ways.
No, not at all.
Because it doesn't always work out the way you envision. It just doesn't, right? So let's talk about it where ahead of time, let's say BET or Lifetime is going to buy this movie. Okay, so you're going to pre-sell the movie. And a lot of people do that where they pitch the movie to a studio. The studio likes the movie, gives them conditions. A lot of times there's cast conditions, location conditions, and the script has to be approved, greenlit as we call. And then you go ahead and make the movie, and you have already secured your distribution for a price, and that's called a minimum guarantee. So basically, a studio can say, hey, for $1 million, if as long as you satisfy these conditions, when you wrap, we will license the film from you for $1 million for, say, 3 years. So that's one way where a lot of people do that, and that's a very good way to secure your distribution up front, where you are making sure your investors are covered. And also this just gives you a peace of mind, even when you're negotiating with your cast, that, hey, we already know where this film's going to go. And in a way, it's traditional, but still is unique because the studio might not give you a dime to do this. You're still going to have to be on the line to raise the money in order to pull this off. Then you have another way where you just raise the money. You might have already pitched it to people and people have rejected it, or you haven't pitched it to anybody, and you're going to what we call roll the dice. Now, before you roll that dice, you still should have an idea of who would have an interest in this type of content. You should know what avenues you can go to. So for example, let's say we're doing a horror film, and you might not know exactly who will buy it, but you might look at something like Blumhouse, which is one of the leaders of horror movies, and say, hey, they've been licensing a lot of content like this. So this could be a particular place that would license or buy the film. So these are things you have to at least know 5 places that are potentials. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, because at the end of the day, it's your product. Your product is what's going to sell anything. Your product has to speak for itself. But at least you should have 5 places that are similar in what you're producing that you have a potential to license the film to.